If you found a letter hidden in your late grandmother's diary, and it revealed that the great love of her life wasn't your grandfather, would you read it to the end? I was clearing out my grandmother's attic the week after she passed away. Dust hung in the air like memories refusing to settle. She had always been a woman of few words, but the silence in that house now felt deafening. In a box marked Simply Winter, 1964, I found a leather-bound diary. Its pages were yellowed, its corners frayed, and pressed between the sheets was an envelope sealed shut, addressed to Anna, only if you still think of me. I almost put it back. It didn't feel like mine to open, but my hands, they betrayed me. Inside was a letter, and as I read it, I realized I wasn't just learning about her life. I was about to question my entire idea of love. It began in the winter of 1964. Anna, my grandmother, was 23, working in a small cafe by the river. Every morning, a man named Thomas came in, always ordering the same thing: coffee, no sugar, and a slice of cherry pie. But it wasn't the coffee he came for. They talked every day, at first about the weather, then about books, then about dreams. She dreamed of traveling to Italy. He dreamed of writing a novel. And somewhere between coffee cups and laughter, they fell in love. But there was a problem. Thomas was engaged not out of love, but duty. His family owed debts to the family of the woman he was to marry. Breaking off the engagement wasn't just forbidden, it would ruin them both. For months, they met in secret, in the quiet corners of the cafe, in letters slipped into coat pockets, in stolen walks under street lamps. He promised her, "One day, Anna, one day we'll have our time." But life doesn't wait for lovers. One rainy evening, he came to her trembling, holding train tickets to Florence. "Leave with me tonight," he whispered. "We can disappear. We can be free." She almost said yes. She wanted to say yes. But her father had just fallen ill, and she was the only one who could care for him. Tears streamed down her face as she shook her head. Thomas left that night, and he never returned. Years later, she married my grandfather, a kind, gentle man who gave her stability, children, and a safe life. She learned to love him in a quiet, steady way. But she never spoke of Thomas until this letter. It wasn't a goodbye. It was dated 3 years after he left. In it, Thomas wrote that he'd waited for her in Florence for 3 weeks, watching every train that arrived. He'd built a life there, always saving a chair in the cafe by the window, just in case she came. His last words: "If you still think of me, even now, know that my heart has never stopped waiting." I don't know if she ever replied. I don't know if she saw him again. But as I closed the letter, I realized something. Love isn't always about happy endings. Sometimes it's about the pieces of someone we carry quietly, forever. And maybe, somewhere in Florence, there's still a chair by a window, waiting,